Evening, guys. I hope you're all doing well. I'm back for another video. So this is the thread that's been doing the rounds for a while now. Five records that you couldn't part with, or you couldn't sell. You could never sell. So yeah, I've seen quite a few responses to this video. A lot of people are kind of inevitably interpreting it in different ways because I guess how we value records is dependent on experience, personal feelings, nostalgia, rarity, all kinds of things that go into the mix as to what makes us want to keep hold of these um, circular pieces of plastic, which is really, at the end of the day, all they are. In fact, it's interesting because quite a few people have commented on the purely material aspect of what records are, in as much as that, at the end of the day, how precious can you really be about about records, because inevitably they're just objects. It's just things, stuff that we here in the Western world just accumulate as consumers as we go through life. But we inevitably attach meaning to it, which is inevitable, really, I guess, because memory, nostalgia. You know, like when we first heard songs or where we were, listening to a record, or going back to a record that you haven't heard for a while, can instill a lot of happy memories, maybe some not quite so happy, depending on what the song or the record is. Um, but yeah, but either any way you cut it, there's nostalgia there, there's meaning attached, value, um, that we put upon these things, and it's very personal. I've spent quite a while trying to think about which ones I was going to show, because I always wanted to contribute to this thread, but as usual, I was thinking I'd probably shown a lot of them already, albeit in different contexts. But I wanted to try and show some different records, and one or two of them maybe you haven't seen before, but perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps maybe I've shown them all. I don't know, but anyway. So I think the kind of the rule was five, to stick to five records. There's probably at least double or triple that would fall into this category, but I guess I'm sticking to the rule of the thread, just sticking to five. So yeah, okay. So the first one is a record that I was actually sent during the lockdown, and this is a record from a folk singer called Katie Spencer. Sorry about the glare. There's still a shrink wrap on it. So yeah, this is Katie Spencer. This is her debut album, and I was sent this, I think, in 2020. When it came out, I think it came out the year before. But yeah, so she's a folk singer from the East Riding in Hull, and yeah, it was actually sent from a friend of mine that I used to go to school with, who his family moved up to Hull when we were about 13, something like that. Uh, yeah, and he actually ended up working. I think he works with Katie's mother, if I've got that right. And yeah, so he was actually sent, I think, the acetate of this after it was recorded, because my friend, he's a big record collector, and he's worked in the record industry all his life. So she kind of trusted him with his ears to listen to the acetate and so on, and give his candid opinion. So yeah, obviously it was all fine. He said it was all okay, etc., etc. So, but yeah, I was just literally just sent this copy out of the blue. I had no idea who she was at the time, or anything. But yeah, I was obviously very gratefully received. It's a lovely, lovely folk album. She writes a lot um, about her hometown of Hull, and about the coastline and the topography, and it's very personal. She's got a beautiful voice, lovely kind of elegiac kind of style of finger picking. She's great. She's really good. Seen her a couple of times live, and when she came to Birmingham a couple of years ago, I had a chat with her, which was really nice because obviously I hadn't met her prior to obviously receiving this. So, but yeah, there's a little note there, and yeah, and it's a white vinyl copy. So I guess they were kind of limited. She's just actually released her third album. I have a second one, which she sent me, which was also signed, but I haven't yet got round to getting hold of a third one. So, but yeah, no, she's touring. I think she's just left the UK to do a short European tour. I know that she met and jammed with Michael Chapman just before he passed on a few years ago, and she's doing really, really well. So if she comes to your hometown, go and support her because she's a great artist. I think her latest album is doing quite well in the folk charts. So yeah, go and support her if you can. If she's coming to a town near you, she tours the UK fairly regularly. So hopefully you'll get a chance to see her. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a personal. There's a personal connection there, and there's the signature and a little note there. And yeah, I'd be very loath to part with this, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's Katie Spencer's debut album, Weatherbeaten. Okay, so probably all laugh at this one, but yeah, so this next one is a record that monetary wise has very, very little value. I would think that probably majority of people in the VC, even if they have a copy of this, would be hard pushed to actually admit that they have it. If they do, it would probably go down as the ultimate guilty pleasure. So yeah, this is Bay City Rollers album, Once Upon a Star, 1975, the year Bye Bye Baby, the Gaudio crew song just went absolutely just stratospheric, massive. And my sister was one of those fans. And, brandishing the tartan and all the rest of it. And yeah, I would often hear this as a kid blasting out from her room. But obviously, as kids are very, very fickle, fashions change, music taste change. And then what used to happen is that when it came to my birthday and I had a little bit of pocket money, she would, and my brother to a certain extent as well, would often press gang me into purchasing records that they no longer wanted or wanted to listen to. and this was one of the ones that I ended up with. So yeah, I mean it's kind of I mean laugh about it now, I mean it's just ridiculous. It's just typical kind of sibling stuff as and but yeah, I mean it just always reminds me and will always remind me of my sister. And I'd be hard pushed to let this go, just because it always reminds me of my sister and the kind of hijinks and just that stuff from nostalgia from being a child, and so forth. So but yeah, so anyway, there you go. So that's basically Rollers and Once Upon a Star. Okay, now this one, I think I showed this in a video probably about 18 months, 2 years ago. But so apologies if anybody's already seen this. But yeah, this is one that's from that kind of where somebody's kind of put their own personal stamp on it. So yeah, Black Sabbath Volume 4. This is a WWA UK reissue from 1973. And yeah, fairly unremarkable. It's not a swirl or anything. It's just an early reissue of this record, which I was glad to have because I had the other copy. I was pretty beat up. But then when I opened the inner sleeve, I found that, which is obviously somebody's just really drawn quite a detailed image there of the drummer Bill Ward, and I just thought that was really cool. That somebody loved the band, and Bill Ward in particular. Obviously, they to show their reverie in that kind of regard, to actually go to the trouble of drawing, and there's some artistic skill that's gone on there, because you can clearly recognize him from that. So that's a pretty good pencil drawing, and that's unique. There's not another copy of this album that has that, I would very much doubt. So, why on earth would I want to part with that? It certainly doesn't add anything intrinsically monetary wise to the value of the album. But it's a unique thing. And, somebody went to the trouble to put that much effort and artistry into it, to add to an already great album. And I'm just very happy to now be the custodian of it, certainly until I throw off my mortal coil, and it becomes my son's responsibility. I don't know what he'll do with it, but there you go. So yeah. Okay, this next one is just I guess purely because of the scarcity of this. So this is The Sun Also Rises on Village Thing Records. So this is quite a rare folk, psych folk album from, I think it's 1970. So this is a husband and wife team, Graham and Anne Hemingway from Cardiff. Yeah, so I don't think there were too many titles on this Village Thing label. I think it was a fairly short-lived label, but I've got one or two reissues on it, but this is the only original one that I've got. And I did pay up quite a bit for this, but I was very happy to, because it's just a wonderful, unique sounding folk record that's quite lo-fi, but it's just guitar, vocal, wonderful harmonies, and just sort of simple percussion in the background. Kind of similar in vein, I guess, to Incredible String Bands. So if you're kind of familiar with their work, yeah, you could really enjoy that. But yeah, I think it would be unlikely anytime soon that I would find another copy of this. So yeah, again, I'd be hard pushed to part with that one. Okay, and the last one, just, yeah, absolutely, I don't think I could ever part with this, even though chances are at some stage I may well find another copy, but they are quite scarce. So this is Roy Harper's the demos of Work of Heart, which is Born in Captivity. So this is just purely acoustic demos that of that album, which originally came out in 1982. He was kind of felt coerced by fans to release this because there was so much demand for it, and I think it was reissued on Awareness Records, I think a year or two later, because yeah, there was an awful lot of demand for it. But with this the original one version, I think there was only 830 copies or something. So yeah, it is quite a scarce thing, and yeah, it's certainly one of the prized components in my Roy Harper vinyl collection that yeah, I would be very hard pushed to part with this one. So, but yeah, they're just it's just stuff at the end of the day, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's not life and death, you know. But yeah, we do put quite a lot of value on these things. So there you go. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And yeah, that was a fun one to do, something a bit different. So yeah, all the best, and I'll see you soon again, hopefully for another video. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.